name is Angela.
And I'm Emma. And this is the Butterfly Quest.
It sure is. I am your extrovert host.
And I'm the introvert, obviously.
Obviously. Today we are going to continue on with our, I don't know what it's called.
Conversation.
Yes, our conversation. About
mentors.
Well, mentors, but it more importantly, it's like
the hero's
continuation of the journey. What does journey mean? And when you're going through enlightenment or starting the travel to starting the road of enlightenment, this is like, these are the steps. And you don't necessarily do them in this order, but more than likely.
Right. So as a recap, we've gone through the first 3 steps in the last part. It was the ordinary world, which is where you're sitting at right this second. The call to adventure, where you
kind of cool if you put like over my face, like the bullet points or something of what you're talking about. Anyways, go ahead. Sorry.
Okay. So the call to adventure, which is when you feel a call to act upon changing your environment, your world, how your life is going, when you're tired of having the world control you and you want to control the things you can actually control.
This is actually the part where you hit rock bottom. Like you've hit the bottom. You're like, well, maybe this isn't too bad. And then you dig maybe 6 more, 10, 12 more feet deeper. And then you're like, I've hit cement and I really don't like the way this feels.
Right. So you get the urge to start to make drastic changes in your life. Usually you make the changes for a week and then you fall back into your normal, whatever your normal habits are.
Sorry.
It's okay. Okay, so you have your call to adventure, and then there's usually the refusal of the call. Like I said, you change your habits for a week, and then you're like, this is too hard. I'm not doing it.
Partially. I mean, yes, that's exactly it. But we are creatures of habit, whether you enjoy change or don't. I'm going to say more than most people prefer continuity. So when a stressor comes up, right, we're going to gravitate back to something
what feels
that
the most
to
something that feels the most comfortable.
Right. Feels familiar, even if it's crap.
Now, okay. So here's the thing is a lot of us are told that it takes what? 20 days. 43 days to form a new habit
times or something like that.
No, I'd have to look it up, but it's something like we are told it takes somewhere between like 30 days and 40 days to form a new habit, when the reality is it actually takes at least 63 days. So like 3 calendar months to change a habit. And for most people, that's just too hard because you have to actually think about what you're doing consciously every day for what feels like forever. And a lot of people, that's why New Year's resolutions fail. That's why when you're starting a new habit and you're like, well, I made it through I've been doing it for a month. Why can't I do it this month? It's because the neural pathways in your brain have not yet changed. So the refusal of the call is a real thing, and it's something everybody goes through.
It's also like, oh, did you say diet? I wasn't listening.
No, I did not say diet.
Well, yeah, because I'm on a diet, and not a diet. I'm on a lifestyle change. That's why like the diets are stopping to say diets and they're saying lifestyle change.
Lifestyle change, a way of eating. And it doesn't matter what diet you're on. the diet just has to actually work for you. And when I say actually work for you, I mean like you get healthier. It's easier to lose weight. It's easier to lose inches. It's just when you're eating the proper way for your specific body, your mental health improves, your physical health improves, everything improves because you're giving your body the fuel it needs to run effectively and efficiently.
And we have a book that we read that we feel hits all those key points so that you can key into your body type. We're not going to talk about it, but we will put in the notes so that if you want to check it out, make your own decision, decide, yes, I want to read that, or, oh, these people are nuts, and forget that. So you choose.
Okay, the book is The Obesity Code by Dr. Jason Fung, and I will link that in the description. And okay.
Super awesome.
Right. So that brings us up to meeting the mentor. So at some point after you've refused the call, but you still want to make changes, you will find somebody, or that someone will find you most likely.
The universe will make that person available, even if it's somebody you haven't spoken to more than hello, goodbye, Merry Christmas in 30 years.
Right. So the mentor, you can think Gandalf, you can think Obi-Wan Kenobi, you can think Morpheus in the Matrix.
Oh, that's a good one. What about
but that, but it doesn't
Dumbledore and Harry Potter?
Yes, Dumbledore. But that doesn't have to necessarily be, it doesn't have to be this huge mythological type figure that shows up in your life going, oh, we're going to fix everything for you, because that's not how it works. More than likely, you're going to get Samwise Gamgee.
Or it could be your baby sister.
Yeah, it could be your baby sister. It could be
a little tiny baby sister that we're talking to right now. For the much older and not quite as wise crazy sister.
Oh, well, crazy is it is a subjective term, but anyway.
I wear it well.
So when it comes to mentors, this person, when they come into your life, they're not going to sugarcoat it for you. And it could be like a YouTuber. It could be somebody whose posts you enjoy on Facebook. It could be a lot of things. But this person is not going to blow sunshine up your rear end. They're not going to go, oh, it's okay, and just like coddle you. They're going to give you straight information, whether you like it or not.
And like you can think real world, like how they set up the AA program. So you have sponsors, someone that you call when you're fixing to fall off the cliff, or someone who is going to keep you on the straight and narrow. And usually, I don't know if you've ever met, alcoholics that have gone through that kind of thing, but I've known quite a few in my lifetime. And the sponsors are not gentle individuals, because when you have an addiction like that, that individual who is trying to break the addiction habit, which is what we call the blackness or blackaholic, darkaholic, which was what we call the darkaholic. You need somebody like Emma said, not to blow. You need somebody to say, you're wrong. You can only control you. How are you going to solve that? Because you can sit there and say, oh, well, my kids don't listen, or my dog doesn't do this, or, the house is ugly, or whatever. Right. But in reality, what your universe is what you create it to be. Whatever you can manifest it to be, whatever you envision in your mind and create it, that's what you are. And your mentor will help you take the universe that you have created and mold it towards the light. And every time you feel yourself swaying back to the dark, or yeah, the dark side, if you were. You call your Obi-Wan or your Gandalf or your Emma and you say, I need help. Like, this is what I felt. This is what's going on. I don't understand what the universe is trying to tell me. Help.
Right.
In the
And
beginning, it's not easy.
no, it's not easy because you're facing a lot of things that you previously manifested without knowing it. So when it comes to manifesting, you're manifesting all the time. And it's kind of based on your feelings. So if you're feeling like the kids never listen to you, then you are constantly manifesting kids that don't listen to you. So you got to
Yes.
start so you have to start changing your thought patterns around that. Instead of saying something like the kids never listen to me, you can start off simply by saying it would be nice if the kids did listen to me.
Remembering that the universe doesn't hear negatives.
Right. So it would be nice if the kids do listen to me. And it's a very
my kids listen to me.
Right, but sometimes you have to go to where you believe. So little baby steps help.
Is there something on your screen? Because my screen keeps glitching to something and I don't know what.
No, there's nothing on my screen.
It keeps glitching, so it must be from my computer.
Is there a notification or something going on?
No, it looks like, I don't know what it is. All right, well, I close out of everything else. We'll see if that works. Oh, I think it's this that it keeps glitching to, and I don't, could be, no, I don't want to do that. Cancel. Okay, let's try that.
Okay. So where were we?
Extreme forehead close up.
Well,
Mentor and manifesting kids that listen.
Okay, anyway, we had a minor technical difficulty. And we're back to talking about manifesting and how your mentor can help you with that. And a lot of the times a mentor is going to come in knowingly or unknowingly. They might not know they're your mentor. They might not know this dynamic, but there's somebody who will help guide you through the process of choosing to think better thoughts, making better decisions for yourself, telling you when you've, made a colossal mistake. But they're not necessarily mean about it, but they're also not overly gentle either. They're not going to pamper your little butt and say, "Oh, it's going to be okay." Blah 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 blah. No, they're going to be like, "You know what? That was a stupid decision. What could you do to make it right now to make it better?" It's going to be that type of conversation.
Yes. Exactly. Going to be that kind of conversation.
Okay, so
usually is more difficult for you because if you go with something for me, I never listen to anybody for anything, and I know everything. Well, I did know everything. Now I know more than I knew before, and I still don't know everything. So I guess before I didn't know everything.
Yeah, that's always a possibility in life, but no, but the mentor part, it's an important step, and this person will, like, there's that saying, when the student is ready, the teacher arrives.
Yes.
That's kind of what will happen here. Is you got to kind of just, when you're ready, somebody, and it might not be the same person the whole way through your journey, but you're going to have somebody who's just like real. They're really real with you. They call you on your BS. They help you through problems. They're empathetic when they need to be.
Well, and for our dynamic, I'm super energetic. So for us to work, you would have to be not quite as energetic, because when I come to you and I'm like, and you're like, uh-huh. And I'm like, what the, uh-huh. What does uh-huh mean? Like, did you just hear what I said for the last 45 minutes?
And then
Uh-huh.
I'll condense it down to one sentence.
Yes. Yes.
And that's okay. I'm sure I'm sure two high energy people could make it work. I'm sure two low energy people could make it work. But for our dynamic, I'm the lower energy person. Instead of calling it low energy, I'll call it a more stable energy.
Yeah. Yes. And
Like,
that could simply be because she's been going through the journey a lot longer than I have, which means that she's made it to the end and can be a mentor. Maybe someday I will get to a stable energy.
it's possible that you'll get you will get to a stable energy, but that doesn't mean that you're going to have less energy.
Yes, but it
You'll,
won't be.
it won't be like a ping pong ball
Yes,
going
and
back
I'm
and forth.
working on, like, I'm I have a mood chart that I created that I can give you access to, so you can link it below, that I'm following. And I also created um I think that's it. I just did a mood chart
Yep.
because I just needed to figure out, like, when my time of the day is the best. And actually recording during the day, I feel, is better than at night, because I have more fluctuations in the evening because I'm tired.
Um, and when we're talking about mood charts, if you're into the planner community at all, like with bullet journals or happy planners or Erin Condren or anything like that, we're not talking about the little chart where you color in how you felt that day. This is a more in-depth, I was sad, I was irritated, I was depressed, I was rage on, I was happy, I was optimistic, I was pessimistic. It's a more detailed information about yourself, because your patterns mean a lot.
Yeah. So I think, well, and Emma has an Etsy page, so we'll link that below, and then you can pick up that if you need it. So we're just trying to get all of our resources in one area so that you guys can find what you need to help you.
We'll eventually be organized and neat and have it all in one place, but for now we're winging it.
Yes, we
But
are. That's kind of how we live life. That's how we were raised, actually, which is kind of amazing that we get each other, because we were both raised in a very volatile environment. So for us to have any kind of organization is like, thank you, universe. Thank you, God.
yes, definitely. So for the mentor part, you have to be willing to accept this person's insight. That doesn't necessarily mean you follow all of their advice or you have to do everything that they say. But you should, when they're talking to you, you should definitely stop and think about it. Because I know, like, when I'm having conversations with Angela, she'll be like, I don't like what you're saying. I know you're right, but I don't like what you're saying.
Okay.
So
Yeah, I
we're
know.
talking about
Yeah.
mentors and
Which
how they help
we have to pause for a
people
minute, because, okay,
just learn how to make better decisions for themselves. And a mentor is going to be a person who wants what's best for you, not for you to be in whatever image they want you to be in. So, and what I mean by that is our little brother, who is 8 million feet taller than us, our
still
younger
the baby.
brother, yeah, he's the baby of the family, but he's tall.
Suffice it
Anyway,
to say that I'm the oldest and the shortest, but they're all babies. They're all my babies. Because when we were little, it was my responsibility: feed, diaper, wake them up, get them ready for school. So they're my babies.
okay. So our brother is chronically late. Now he's gotten better since he's had his own child, but the 1 year, literally he was supposed to come visit for Christmas and he didn't make it until Easter.
Sounds like Todd.
Exactly like Todd. Right. So my
He's gonna be late
expectation
for his own funeral, I feel like.
probably, but for Todd,
I'm
for me to
surprised he
have an
wasn't late to his wedding.
well, that depends. He's a whole different thing. Like he will do anything for Penn. But anyway, so with Todd, I can't have time expectations for him. Because if I have those time expectations for him, I'm always going to be disappointed and angry with him. But if I make his presence at a family gathering a bonus when he shows up, it's wonderful. If he doesn't show up, life goes on and I'm still happy doing my thing.
That makes sense.
And that's what a good mentor is going to do for you.
Well, and it also
There,
goes to creating boundaries for yourself and for people that are part of your life.
right. Like Todd's never going to be on time and he's always going to be in conflict with people who force that type of a boundary on him.
He's a
Um,
very,
he's a free spirit.
thank you. I couldn't think of the word. Yes, free spirit. Very free. Like he's had his own battles and he fights them every day, but he gets up and he does the best he can for him and his family, and I'm so proud of him.
I'm very proud of him too. But the thing is so a mentor is not coming in to change who you are. They are there to help you do what is best for yourself. Because there are decisions that Angela would make for her life and her children and the things she wants to do and accomplish that I wouldn't necessarily make for myself, but they're the absolute right decision for her. So if I want what's best for my sister, then I have to encourage her towards good decisions for herself, regardless of what I would do personally.
Because everybody has different experiences and well,
Different
everybody has
hope.
a different path. If we all traveled the same path, then the world would be boring.
Very boring. Right. We all have our own hopes, our own dreams, our own things we want to accomplish, likes, dislikes, all of that kind of stuff. So a good mentor is going to help you discover who you are authentically and encourage you to make the best decisions to reach the goals you're trying to achieve and to help you discover the things about yourself that you need to know. Like, I could say, well, Angela's just a brat who only wants her own way. I could say that, but that's not A, it's not true. And B, if I tried to mold her into being my perfect sister, in my fantasy world, then Angela, we're just going to continue to have conflict and she's always going to be fighting against me because she's her own person.
And I think that it's important when you're learning this boundaries thing is that you're accepting people around you for who they are, not who you want them to be. I feel like that's what Emma's trying to say. Like even
Yes.
your kids are never going to be what you want them to be. You created them to be individuals, the universe, their own individual. You created them to have mind, to think, and to feel, and the universe created them to feel on their own. And if you ever want a harmony in your home, you need to allow them time to feel, think, and those kinds of things. So an example of this is my youngest son has autism. And for those of you that don't know this about autism, it is like your mind is different. You just process information differently. And the reason that he has autism is because he had seizures, and well, that'll be another post another day, but suffice it to say that we struggled big time with that. So on on my way to this meeting, we forgot to take our medication this morning, which helps him even out his highs and lows, so that he can process effectively. And I could have, because he was very disrespectful, very rude, very violent, and I could have met that. I could have met that force with the same amount of force, which would have just turned into a big explosion, which is how I dealt with things before. Instead, I decided that I needed to accept him for who he is. We forgot his medication, so that's the understanding the boundaries. And so I worked on the energy in the car to bring the energy up, the vibration level up, so that yes, he's still technically out of alignment, but it's not quite as volatile, which is the Abraham Hicks's emotional scale that Emma and I use to talk ourselves up. And I use for my children, and it's not quite as extensive, I don't think, because I don't think that they have quite those emotions. I feel like they jump a lot easier than adults, but definitely we're done with the rage. Not happy because he didn't get what he wanted, but we came to an agreement. And I didn't meet his force, and it was like hurricane force anything, with another hurricane force, because then it would have just been an explosion. Whereas before I would have met force with force, because that's what I was taught, and it would have ruined both of our days. And instead I'm able to come on, smile, and he's able to go play with his brother. He took his medication, and interact effectively with him so that he could get what he needs.
So it was just a moment in the day instead of becoming the day.
Exactly. So that's important. Your mentor helps you,
and you didn't even call me for that one this morning. Good job.
Well, no. And then I had the other meltdown, like you called on the phone, and I was on the phone with the IRS, and then, he's melting. So yeah, that was also just a moment. So I've been working through these things. I'm telling you, like,
good job.
Thank you.
Doesn't it feel good to know that you can get through these moments?
Yes. And that they don't have to be like, and the IRS didn't even give me good information. Like, they were not helpful whatsoever. So all of these things happened before I even got on, and I'm still smiling. So they were just moments. They're information of a bigger picture, but that's not my life. That's not my vibration. I'm going on vacation. That's where my focus is.
Good job.
And the mentor teaches you or tells you good job, but you need to learn to teach yourself to say good job. But
yes, that's important too. But
yeah,
but with them, like, there's a lot of conversations I've had with my sister over the last couple of months where she's just like, Emma, blah, 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 and she's like freaking out, and I'm like, okay, so what you're telling me is, and usually I'll give her a single sentence, and she'll be like, how did you do that? I just babbled at you for 20 minutes and you just pulled that out of there. How do you do that? Well,
and it's a perfect synopsis.
But you're learning how to do it.
That's true. So,
there you go. Today's proof of that.
Because I'm an empath, I also I'm working on learning how to block energies and siphon energies.
Ooh, that'll be an interesting video.
Yes. So, depending on where I am in my emotional scale, I either use crystals to assist me or not. But like in the car, I was able to siphon some of his negative energy. He wouldn't let me touch him because my vibration level was too high and his was too low. But I just was able to get enough that we were playing then in the car. So it was.
Oh, there you go.
And then, so when you siphon the energy, the negative energy, you have to be able to transmute it to increase your positive energy, which takes a lot of concentration.
Well,